All right. Let me guess. You've watched a ton of these videos. You've tried to wheelie, you've seriously worked on it, and you still can't do it. I've seen so many people try, and here are my top 3 reasons why you still can't wheelie. Hey guys, Josh here with Daily Mountain Bike Rider, and we are back again with another wheelie video. Some of you may not know that I've actually made a how to wheelie like a wizard video. You can find it right here. And I had a ton of people watch that, and yet I still know a ton of people who still cannot successfully wheelie. And so instead of telling you how to wheelie, I want to cover the top 3 reasons that I see that people still can't wheelie. So let's get into it. Reason number 1 is people still don't have the right form to get their front wheel up. The most important part about getting into a wheelie is actually bringing your front wheel up off the ground. And the key to doing that is making sure you have the proper form over your bike. I talk about what you have to do is sit on your saddle with it a little bit higher. You have to bring your chest down to your bars, and then in a motion of one single pedal stroke, perfectly timed, you have to pull back and lean your shoulders back. So often what I see people making the mistake of is they don't preload or bring their chest down to their bars. Instead, they just take a single pedal, they go from kind of an upright position to a more back position, and that just doesn't work. You have to get a really good pop in order to get that front wheel off the ground. And people don't realize to do good wheelies, to do long ones, you've got to get that wheel so far back that you get to the balancing point. Now, big thing that you have to know when you do this, make sure your finger is over your rear brake. This is like your safety. When you feel yourself going too far forward, when you do a successful pop well, if you feel like you're going to fall backwards, just tap that brake and you'll quickly slam that front wheel right back down. So, tip number 1 of why you probably can't wheelie, work on getting your front wheel up in the air. Now, reason number 2 of why you still can't wheelie, and this is probably the one I see the absolute most, and that is that you haven't got far enough back in your wheelie position to find your balance point. I noticed that a lot of people know how to get their front wheel off the ground, but once they get back up in the air, they feel like if their back is going too far to the ground, it's kind of a moment of panic and they tap their brake and they go back down. Instead, what you need to do is you need to trust your body position. If your saddle's at the right height, if your shoulders are back, getting your weight backwards, you're gonna find the balance point. Now, other times, people are just pedaling like crazy to keep their front wheel up, and it's actually their pedaling that's getting them to wheelie, not their weight. So how do you know when you found the balance point? Well, here's my trick, is after a couple pedal strokes where you feel pretty comfortable, stop pedaling, keep your body position the same, and see if your front wheel still stays up. If your front wheel quickly goes right back down, you probably haven't got to the balance point yet. It's only once you pedal and you get that front wheel up high enough where you're almost a little bit uncomfortable, but you've got your finger on that rear brake, that if you stop pedaling, you're gonna keep going for a little ways, and then eventually that front wheel is gonna come down. That's your sign that you found the balance point. That's the sweet spot. And the coolest thing about this is once you find your balance point, you'll know it because you can pedal so stinking slow, like I'm showing right here, and stay in a wheelie. And the reason that is possible is because you're in the balance point. People tell me all the time, Josh, you're just freakishly good at wheelies. And I tell them, no, I just have found my balance point. It's not that I'm the best bouncer in the world, it's just I've ridden my bike enough and done it enough that I can find it. And the third reason why you still cannot wheelie, and besides the second one, this is by far the biggest one, is you just haven't practiced enough. I know I say it all the time on the channel, like get out there, ride your bike, make sure you do it every day. But seriously, I learned how to wheelie because I literally rode my bike in my neighborhood every single day. And I would ride for 15 to 20 minutes a day, and I would practice my wheelies, my manuals, my stoppies, and my front wheel pivots. And doing that every day for a matter of weeks is what eventually got me to the point of being comfortable enough to do a wheelie on demand in almost any trail situation. If you do it well once, you can't stop there. You have to keep practicing. And if that sounds like, I just don't have enough time, or it just seems a little too hard, then you're never gonna end up wheeling. So those are the 3 main reasons that I found. But the truth is, you may have another reason why you can't wheelie. And that's why I really put in there the practice. The more time on your bike, the more reps going through the positioning of how to wheelie, and the better you're going to get at it. And eventually, no matter how many videos you watch, you're going to learn how to successfully wheelie in just the way that you can do it. So here's my encouragement. Stop making excuses, get out there and practice. And I promise you will be able to get the wheelie. It just depends on how bad you want it. All right, that's it for me, Josh. Sorry that I had to give you a little bit of a hard time, but I promise you, you can achieve the wheelie, and it's the most fun thing to do and show off to your friends, and it just feels great. You know what time it is. Don't watch this guy on YouTube talking too long about all the reasons you can't wheelie, but get out there, ride your bike, do it every day, and make sure you practice your wheelies so that you can pick them up along the way. See you guys.